The whole world seeks desperately to understand the mindset of President Putin of Russia. TV channels interview psychologists in pursuit of insight. The motivations of Patriarch Kirill, the spiritual leader of the Russian Orthodox Church, are also probed. One theory offered on a television program this week is that President Putin believes in a unique Russian cosmic energy. Putin leans on a strange theory advanced by the Russian historian Lev Gumilev, who maintains that every people possesses a distinct life force, a biocosmic inner energy or passionate substance that he calls Passionernost. Putin believes this, arguing that in nature, as in society, there is development, climax, and decline. Russia has not yet attained its highest point. We're on the way, he says. We possess an infinite genetic code. President Putin is a Christian. President Zelensky of the Ukraine is Jewish. Therefore, I approach today's scriptures seeking wisdom that might guide us through wartime. The deceased chief rabbi of the United Kingdom, Jonathan Sacks, once persuasively said, "Religion is not what the Enlightenment thought it would become, mute, marginal, and mild. It is fire, and like fire, it warms, but it also burns, and we are the guardians of the flame." In an interview, Sacks was asked where you are finding hope. Rabbi Sacks replied, "I think God is setting us a big challenge, a really big challenge. We are living so close to difference with such powers of destruction that he's really giving us very little choice." To quote the great line from W.H. Auden, "We must love one another or die." Sacks referenced the discovery of DNA by Crick and Watson and the compelling insight that all life, everything, all 3 million species of life and plant life all have the same source. We all come from a single source. Everything that lives has a genetic code written in the same alphabet. Sacks persuasively argues that unity creates diversity. So don't think of God as one truth, one way. Think of one God creating an extraordinary number of ways. For example, the 6,800 languages that are actually spoken. Don't think there's one language within which we can speak to God. The Bible is saying to us the whole time, don't think God is as simple as you are. When Moses, in our first reading today from Exodus at the burning bush, says to God, "Who are you?" God speaks 3 words. Those words are mistranslated in English as "I am that which I am." But in Hebrew it means "I will be who or how or where I will be." Meaning, don't think you can predict me. I am a God who is going to surprise you. One of the ways that God surprises us is by letting Jew or a Christian discover the trace of God's presence in a Buddhist monk, or in the Sikh tradition of hospitality, or the graciousness of Hindu life. Reflecting on the book of Exodus, Rabbi Sachs argues, power destroys the powerless and powerful alike, oppressing the one while corrupting the other. For Rabbi Sachs, the wariness of power animates Moses' entire career. This is not to say that Moses found power inherently evil. He was convinced simply that there is only one being, God, to whom absolute power truly belongs. This explains Moses' reticence to gaze upon God at the burning bush. Moses did not aspire to divinity. Moses understood that human power requires strict, conscious limits. Moses, for instance, maintained a remarkable ability to appreciate the talents and even the different moral foundations of others. Moses was sensitive to the challenges of power. Moses led by listening rather than by telling, by making space for others. Moses accordingly shared power as much as possible. Dialogue about tragedies in Luke's Gospel prompts Jesus to urge a change of heart and mind. The fig tree parable spells out the way that things are in Ukraine and Russia today. Fruit is not growing. The violence must be pruned. Jesus is saying, no more of this. Cut it down. Let's start over. Our scriptures helps us to see that God is bigger than religion. God is in a place you will never expect him to be. As we stare at the horror of war, we dwell on Rabbi Sachs' words on hope. And since we really can love one another, I have a great deal of hope. Amen.